morning, everyone. My name is Marc-Andre Pelletier. I'm President and CEO of Bonterra Resources. Bonterra is a junior gold exploration company with a large portfolio of exploration properties. And we also have infrastructures like a fully permitted mill. We're located in the north of Quebec in what we think is going to be a new mining camp in the Great Urban Barry Camp.
Hello.
Hey, really good to see you in person.
Nice seeing your backyard. I know.
Yeah,
we had the conference. We're in Quebec City. The mining investment event of the North or something like this.
Yeah, it's
Big turnout.
really good to be in Quebec City. That's where the parliament is, or the premier, the deputies. It's lots of politics in Quebec City, but it's mining comes with politics as well. So it's really good to see those guys to be present at the conference as well.
A lot of them here. But there's a lot of money deployed by them in Quebec, so I expected them to be here.
Yeah. I mean, Quebec is a tier 1 mining jurisdiction. We keep saying that, but it's so true. And sometimes we kind of forget about that.
I think, it's for me, it's sort of coming to places like this and sort of seeing that, the provincial government representing here, it really kind of brings it home how important it is and, and how supportive they are. We've heard nothing about it. But we'll talk about that on time. First things first, fires, everyone okay?
Everybody is safe.
Okay.
Our camp, we have 3 mining camps in the bush, so they are safe as well. Unfortunately, we had to evacuate our camps 3 weeks ago. This is the 3rd week already that the authorities banned the access to the forest. So there's lots of restrictions. There are still some big forest fires close to a city named Le Bel-sur-Quévillon, which is a city that we go through to access our camp. So, so it's unprecedented time, to be honest. The fire close to Le Bel is one of the biggest fires that Quebec ever had.
I think last year there was a bunch of fires in BC as well.
True.
A bit further west.
True.
Okay, well, mining's tough. Lots of you get these things thrown at you, got to deal with it, okay? So I want to talk to you about what you're up to at the moment, because obviously we talked previously about the Sister Goldfields deal. It's quite a big deal for the region. It kind of puts the region back on the map again. In fact, just remind us what the deal's.
It's a joint venture between Goldfields, which is one of the major gold producers in the world, and Osisko Mining. It's a 50-50% partnership. And Goldfield is going to put 600 million Canadian to acquire the 50 million plus some other fees. And they are going to participate at 50% of the construction cost of the Windfall mine. So we talk about $1.2 billion investment, which is significant in a place that there's basically no infrastructures at all.
And it's pretty close to you. Do you think you'll be the beneficiary of some of that infrastructure?
Those infrastructure will benefit definitively. The main thing is the power line. There's a power line being built over 110 kilometers, straight from the north to south, directly to Windfall. And as you know, Matthew, our sites are like 15 kilometers away from Windfall. So we're going to get much closer to a power source, which will help, of course, for an environmental perspective to reduce our consumption of fuel, but will also reduce our cost eventually because, as you know, electricity is very cheap in Quebec.
Hydro.
Correct.
Right, okay.
And true. Thanks.
Yep.
It's very cheap and
and cheap and green.
Correct.
Better than that. So we'll see how that develops out. Obviously, it's early days there, but there's a lot of money being talked about in the infrastructure. We're looking to see, how that benefits other people, players in the district. What are you up to? Where do you want to start? Which project do you want to start with in terms of,
Earlier this year, we made a press release that we are going to renew our exploration focus. So we actually have, just before the forest fires, but we were going to continue with 2 diamond drills. So we're back in exploration. We hope to find, we have a lot of targets, the urban berry camp remains such underexplored. There's about 10 million ounces of resources on paper now discovered to date. But as you know, I mean, we're just looking for the next deposit, the next million ounces. So we're back to exploration. We have 2 drills in the urban berry camp as we speak. One is on the north of our northwest property named Panache. And the other one is Berry Northeast. So Berry deposit, we're just on the northeast. Greenfield exploration program, no diamond drilling, no showings there. Pure exploration based on geophysics, those MAC surveys. So that's what we were doing for now. For the rest of the year, our geology team is actually working on... I asked them to start looking outside the box and go keep them a little bit more freeway, and if you had a hole, where would you put it? I give you the chance to put the hole where you want to put it.
But based on some science and data, but
of course,
what you're saying, because the multiple targets, like, okay, pick what you think might be the most prospective.
Yep.
Right? Okay. Now, I want to let's talk about the why in that, okay? Because the market's a funny market. Remember, there's been some M&A. We're talking about big companies, sniffing around some of the more advanced developers. But strategies have had to adapt to market conditions, right? Because mining companies have not been getting credit for anything much that they do 2 years. So what are you saying? You're saying that, well, perhaps we shouldn't kind of move through those economic study phases because no one's getting credit for that. It's come off the back of a high inflation environment. People are marking companies down for that. So exploration, you think people will give you credit for?
I dreamed about something a couple of weeks ago, and when I woke up, sometimes those dreams come back, and the dream is that Bonterra just discovered the Gladiator deposit, like now. There's new discovery, 8 grams plus deposit. Think about the press release that would make a new deposit, high grade, close to in the urban berry camp. This could be a new mine there. I mean, it would be great. I think it would be really get the attention from the market. So Gladiator has been discovered a few years ago, but how about if we can find another one? And that's kind of what we're doing now. The other thing, Matthew, is we are open for business. We have to be aware of what's going on in the region, in the market. So you talk about consolidation. We're looking maybe for a partner, DV partners. We'll put some money in our property and bring his expertise as well. So we are open. So we are looking at options at the moment.
You look into, but I guess I'm interested in the kind of problem that you see in the market and the problem you're trying to solve with regards to, you've got 3 million ounces, all categories, right? When you was thinking, well, maybe would we get credit if we brought some of this inferred into indicated? Don't know.
Correct.
Right? Do we need more ounces, all categories, to give us that scale, which makes us more attractive? You've seen what's happened, 15 kilometers away. Is it size that matters? Is it chasing higher grade that matters? Do you know what I mean? There's lots of things that you think, well, I'm trying to work out what the market's going to react to, and I'm not sure anyone's got the answer. That's the trouble.
Yeah. Well, we have spent quite a bit of time looking at the Barry deposit, and we for Barry, the timing is not quite there yet. We have a lot of ounces there. We know what it will cost. We know the current price of gold, but for example, we need hydroelectricity there to lower the cost. So we gotta wait. Power is gonna come probably next year. Right. So do we need to drill more at Barry? Honestly, we have a good understanding there. The deposit remains open at depth. When I talk about the holes, the wonder hole that we were looking at to do. I mean, we're probably going to drill Barry at depth.
Right.
It's only a 650 meters deep deposit. Windfall is 1,200. Gladiator is 1,200 meters.
Right.
Barry is half of that. So, as you know, the ore doesn't stop at 650 meters. In the Abitibi, typically, grades improve at depth. Typically, that's...
But so the costs, right? So what I'm trying to work out is how do you go about modeling something like this in terms of saying, right, if we have Barry, which is good, or Gladiator, wherever you want to start this thing, say, how do I build a camp which ultimately we know where the mill is, you know where everything kind of goes. You've got a plan for how it comes together, therefore that affects where you go and drill. So your guys have got a bit of freedom, but at the same time, you've got to be looking at the future economics in the back of your mind as well.
Yeah, we did some work on the cost last year. It was October, November last year, and I think we need to test the market again and see. We all know the energy costs have been going down.
Yeah,
the labor costs. I think we need to test the market again just to see what changes and maybe do. Approach some specific contractors and make sure they understand the project. Because one thing we realize sometimes when a contractor does not fully understand the nature of your project, he will have a tendency to bid higher because he's not too confident. So I think we need to do a little bit more work on that. I think it's time now. It's been over 6 months that we tested the market for cost. And we have to be, we have to think outside the box as well. And we have to challenge ourselves on how we could do things better, cheaper. And
I like that.
And I think we're getting there now. Yeah. It's been 6 months. Let's take a step back. Let's look at Barry, the economics again.
Yeah.
We know the power is coming up, but what else? What else could we? And that's something that we're going to do.
Okay.
I was saying...
like that approach, which is like thinking outside the box. Brilliant. Because you can only do that if you understand what your end game is. You talked about potentially bringing in a strategic partner with their balance sheet. Maybe look at the way that money comes into, whether it's project level, asset level, or into a JV proper. Lots of things to decide, right? But the point is, I think at the moment, companies coming to market and saying the same thing over and over and over. It's like it didn't work then. It's not going to work right now, and it needs to be an entirely different, market in the sense that gold needs to really move. Costs do need to really drop considerably. So it's interesting. It's a chess game, right?
Yeah, chess game. I like to play chess, by the way. Me too. But maybe next time. Our business, I mean, you got to work on the cost. You have a control on the cost, so you got to work on that. But we're hoping to get a higher price of gold. I mean, it seems the gold is it's hard to break the $2,000 an ounce threshold.
And stay there.
Yeah.
No.
So
no one's got that answer. I was had a banking panel yesterday, and no one really had the kind of answer. So what's happening in the marketplace? Why isn't gold reacting like people think it should be at the moment?
The consensus is everybody thinks the price of gold should be higher, but nobody can tell you when. Yeah. But it's gonna happen. So, like, you gotta work on what you control, which is the cost. And you hope the best for the price of gold. You have to be optimist. I mean,
well, okay, stay in control of what you can control, and the market will come back. It always does.
Yeah, thank you.
Good to see you. Get out there. There's like over 180 investors here.
Yeah, that's a lot of people.
Investors, right?
It's awesome.
All focused on Quebec, it seems.
Yeah, it's the best place to mine an ounce of gold. So
good.